YouTube channel, and if you guys are new, hello, my name is Bridget. Today I'm sitting on my floor. I'm going to be starting a new series called No Hate, but yeah, I just decided to make my series No Hate, but and still give my opinion on it. So before we get started with the video, I did want to do a disclaimer. So this is purely my opinion. You do not have to agree with my opinion, and I am in no way telling you that this is how stuff should be done. This is from my horsey experiences and my opinions. I have done my research and stuff like that, and this is just what I've gotten from my research and my 5 years of owning horses and stuff like that. So if you get easily offended, I would suggest just kind of not watching the video, because again, I'm giving my opinion. I am in no way, shape, or form trying to throw shade at anybody or anything. I am just, again, it's just purely my opinion. So yeah, with that being said, get on with the video, I guess. I'm going to be talking about bits, and that's kind of a controversial horse topic. I posted a video saying that I was going to do a video like this and I wanted some topics, and somebody did ask, do bits actually hurt the horse? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I actually brought some of my bridles in here with different bits on them, just so I can show you guys the difference and stuff like that. Some of these I didn't have, so I looked them up on the internet and got pictures of them, which I will post. And some of them I don't know their names, I just will post pictures of them. This is a bit that I actually use every time I ride Dixie. And this is a, I believe I call it an O-ring snaffle. That's what I bought it, and it was an O-ring snaffle. Okay, so this is an O-ring snaffle. This is what I use on Dixie. It is a very, very, very mild bit. Like extremely mild from the stuff that I used to use. So whenever I very first got horses and I first got Dixie, I used to use this, which I can't really take this, I can't take this off here, but this was the bit that I used. This is a Western CP low port curb bit. This is a little harsh. This is a little bit harsher than I would typically use. I did want to mention I am talking about my horses in this, Dixie, which is the horse that I'm riding and own right now. If you guys don't know, this is Dixie. And so I'm going to be talking about her and my experience with her and bits and stuff, because I didn't really ride my previous horses very much. So yeah, I'm just going to be talking about her. Dixie has a very, very sensitive mouth. So whenever I very first got her, she actually came with this bridle. This is the whole bridle that she came with and everything. And I used this bit all the time. Like every time I rode her, I used this bit. And I was a beginner rider. I had just turned 12 whenever I got Dixie. And I was a very, very new rider, and I have a lot of regrets because I used a bit like this, and she has a very sensitive mouth, and I would just kind of yank on her, and my hands would be going everywhere, and I would yank and pull and rip, and you know what I mean? And she has a sensitive mouth in general, so I feel very bad about that. Notice that with this bridle, Dixie was throwing her head a lot. She would chew and play with it. She would never really stop messing with it. She really, really hates this bit. So I was like on the search for a new bit anyway, but again, I was a beginner and I didn't really know what I was doing. So once I got this one, I started kind of using it every once in a while, and she always took a bit really badly too. I just got her to the point where she takes a bit really easily. Once I got this in her mouth for the first time, she took her a minute and she messed with it, and then like our whole ride was quiet. You know the sound of a horse when they're like chewing on their bit and messing with it the whole time? She did that for a couple minutes, and then after that she was perfectly fine. Now, I did want to talk about, I'm not saying that this bit is super, super mild and that anybody should just use this bit. Even if you're a beginner, you should just use an O-ring snaffle because it's super mild and it won't hurt your horse. That's not what I'm saying, because there's a bit called a rubber snaffle, and you can hurt your horse with that. This can be used in the wrong hands, and if a child puts this in a mouth, or a beginner rider in general puts this in the mouth of a horse, and you're still yanking and pulling really hard, you're still going to rip the horse's mouth off. It's not, just because it's considered a mild bit doesn't mean it's not going to hurt your horse. So this is more mild than a curb bit, usually, but in the wrong hands, this could also be harsher than a curb bit. Your curb bit is considered harsher than your snaffle, but it can also, it really just depends on your horse. If this bit fits your horse better and your horse likes this bit better than the Olin snaffle, use this bit. This bit can cause damage, so can this one. It doesn't matter. It's just a personal preference and how confident you are in yourself, how experienced you are, kind of thing. So according to the website Quora, I don't know if I pronounced it right, so I'll put it up here. Bits do hurt the horse, as you would assume, because anything really metal pulling on soft tissue, that's gonna hurt. You can get a more mild bit, such as a snaffle, but again, it can, in the wrong hands, be harsh, a very harsh bit. So yeah, it depends on you. And yeah, so there is this bit called a Civil War bit. That's the only name I really could find for it, and it has spikes on it, and I'll put a picture up here. It's a really gnarly looking bit. I'm pretty sure it's not used anymore. I'm positive it's not used anymore. It is I think it's illegal now to use it here in the US. I don't know about other countries, but I know it's illegal here now. There's also some bits, I don't know what the name of this one is, I couldn't really find it, but it is designed like a bicycle chain. So here's that one, and that's really, really weird. I don't like that. So I'm gonna put up a picture of all of the different types of bits I found, and I'll just put them up on the screen. That way that you guys can look at them and stuff like that and see them. All of this being said about bits, you might just be like,
okay, like, time to just throw out the bit and let's hit up the bitless riding joints.
No.
So bitless riding has also been proven to not be great for your horse. It is comfortable for your horse. Horses tend to enjoy it more, but it can cause bad habits in your horse. So this is from my experience. I ride Dixie bitless whenever I go on like 10-minute rides bareback, you know, just stuff like that, messing around. Or if I'm doing like a little bit of livery work, I'll just ride her bitless and stuff like that. But if I'm planning on running the barrel pattern or going on a trail or riding for 30 minutes to an hour, I'm not gonna ride her bitless, just because it causes kind of lack of form, throwing of the head whenever you actually put a bit in. And that is actually a problem that I have right now. Dixie just throws her head a lot. Anytime you ride and put pressure on her face, she throws her head. We're actually working on that right now. Also, your horse may not respond as well to pressure, pulling them whatever direction with the reins, because the bit is, you know, it's designed to help this. So you're gonna pull this way, and this bit is gonna go into your horse, the side of your horse's mouth, and your horse is going to want to relieve that pressure and the pain of that, and they're gonna turn into that to make it go back. So bits are for stopping and for pulling your horse into the right direction. It just makes the cue a little easier. Bitless riding, in my opinion, is not okay as an everyday thing. I bitless ride about once a week, and that's fine. But if you're bitless riding constantly and stuff like that, I don't really consider that okay. One thing you see is more with dressage riders, which I might do a whole thing on dressage, because there's kind of like some stuff, no offense to no dressage riders, because I think it's absolutely beautiful. Like you guys can see, I put it in my edits. I think it's gorgeous and I love watching it. But the process of putting your horse in that type of training, depending on how you do it, is just really harsh. And some horses, I really don't like it whenever the horses are forced to hold their chin into their chest, basically. That seems really harsh, and if you do that, I'm sorry, but I don't like that at all. It's very bad. How would you feel having to tuck your chin into your chest? Obviously, that would suck for you. If you don't want it done to you, don't do it to your horse. Anyway, that's for another day, and that's for another time. But all I'm saying is, yeah, dressage horses kind of have to hold their heads down in that frame. I think some people do it with jumping horses too. I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar on the English world, but I know that some people make their horses hold their heads down like that. I've even seen Western people do it. It's not just English riders, but I've seen it more in dressage. The horse's mouth, it causes the horse's mouth to foam up, the bit and the slobber, and that's ugly. Okay, your horse holding down its head, you may think it's pretty, but that's really ugly, and it's not a good looking thing. So again, this is my opinion. It's your horse, do whatever you want, but in my opinion, it's not good looking. The dressage in general is good looking, but your horse holding down your head in, I think it's called frame, it looks stupid. It looks hard.
I'm gonna get probably a lot of hate for saying this stuff.
But yeah, that's my opinion. So if you guys want more of these little series, comment down more controversial horse topics. I kind of want to talk next week about the racehorse industry, so let me know if that's something you guys would like to see. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and go follow our Snapchat at BridgetMD, and we will see you guys in the next video.